Hi there, Laura here from Better Biz Academy and Six Figure Writing Secrets with a tip for some of those more advanced freelancers who are fully booked with clients and going, oh my gosh, how do I get all of this done? I'm so busy, I'm working all day. I want to introduce you to one of my favorite tips and tricks for making sure you keep track of everything and not exhaust yourself. So things like decision fatigue or feeling really tired at the end of the day mentally are really common with entrepreneurs and freelancers because of how many decisions, choices, and strategy calls you have to make over the course of a given day. One of the ways that I have made things a lot easier for myself is by batching work. So I break all of my projects into different stages and I do those stages together but across clients. So like choosing topics for clients, I do all of that together. That is one task that I'm asking my brain to focus on. A mistake I see a lot of freelancers make, particularly when they're trying to break through to make more money, they're stuck at 30K or 50K. They're sitting down and saying, all right, I'm going to do client A's project, and they spend 3 hours choosing the topic, writing it, editing it, and sending it in. You're asking your brain to do a lot of different tasks in there, and it's really inefficient, and then you're totally exhausted by the time you finish that, so it's very hard to switch gears and do something else. Whereas me sitting down and saying, I'm going to choose all of my clients' topics for the next week, the next 2 weeks, or the next month, I'm asking my brain to only focus on the research process that I'm looking at. And then the next time I sit down, I'll be working on writing. And of course, I'm not doing this all in one, I'm not sitting down for 1 hour and saying, I'm going to pick all my clients' topics for a month. It's going to take me possibly longer than that, but multiple sessions like that where I'm only asking my brain to do one thing. The reason behind this is you don't want to be asking your brain to switch lanes, to do different types of tasks. It is totally exhausting and it will burn you out very quickly. But by planning ahead, you not only feel like you've got things under control as far as deadlines, but you also have the peace of mind that comes from knowing that you're only asking your brain to do one very specific thing at a time. And then it's easier to switch and say, okay, well, now I'm going to go answer client emails for 30 minutes and I'm just answering emails. I'm not also trying to write someone's blog and publishing someone's blog. Trying to do many things at once, that multitasking is what kills you as a freelancer, and you end up getting nothing done and getting to 4 o'clock in the afternoon and being like, oh my gosh, I only did one thing today. I'm so far behind. Now I have to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and start all over. Working in batches of projects makes things a lot easier. So you might carve out 2 hours to select client topics. Then you take a break and you send those topics if they need approval. And then you come back in the afternoon and you begin the writing or the drafting or the outlining process. And then another day, you might work on finishing the writing, and then a whole other set of batch work later, like the following afternoon, you may edit it. This also makes you a better freelancer because you're giving yourself some space to not get tunnel vision on your projects. Really important for all freelancers, but especially for writers in particular, because you want to get some space from your project so you don't think that it's perfect and amazing. You're much more likely to catch mistakes after the fact. So breaking this into different days is really, really helpful, because if I write like 3 blogs, I may be exhausted and tired and I may miss mistakes that ultimately my clients would be upset about. But if I write those 3 blogs and then go do something else for a while, do a different type of batch work, and then come back and edit those 3 blogs together, I'm asking my brain to only focus on the editing process itself. And that makes it a lot easier for me to catch mistakes. And then I'm like, hey, I've actually finished all 3 of these. Now these can go out to the client for review while I switch into another task. So it's much less pressure on you and your brain, much fewer decisions that you need to make, and ultimately you end up being ahead of the curve, so you're ahead of deadline instead of constantly feeling like you're starting a race and then you're finishing it and you're exhausted and you're starting another race with a different client's project beginning from zero. I did have to do a little bit of legwork to get ahead. I actually discovered this process when I was getting ready for a 3-week vacation. I had to batch my work to get it done before I went on this 3-week vacation. And I realized how effective that was, that I really put in a lot of energy into that, but that ultimately I got myself 3 weeks ahead. So this is something that may really work for you in your freelancing. And I love teaching about these advanced freelancing topics. I hope that this helps you and that you continue to subscribe to my channel to get more tips about how to run your freelance business more effectively.